Hey guys, today is day 69 of the 90-day Facebook Live challenge. I had the pleasure of doing the sermon at our jazz service at church tonight. And what I'm going to talk to you about is just a little brief recap of what I talked about at church. So I hope you enjoy it. The gospel lesson for this weekend is the story of the three wise men and their journey to see the Christ child. Now, what I mentioned in the service was that I didn't really know that much about the story until I took the opportunity to research it a little more. Hey, AJ. And what I found out was we always talk about the three wise men, but we don't really know for sure that there were three wise men. I think it's just assumed because there were three gifts: gold, frankincense, and myrrh. We also don't know for sure that they were three kings. They may have come from royalty, but we don't know for a fact that they were three kings. We just know that it was three magi, three wise men. And so tonight, what I talked about at church was that the three wise men traveled to see the baby, not because they were really told that the baby had been born, but because they had read in scripture that the child would be born, and they knew that when they saw the star, that was what they were going to go look for. So I am in search of my star. Now, everybody that's watched my videos knows that I talk about how I'm all over the place and I'm scatterbrained. And the other day there was a little picture on Facebook of 4 quadrants and different colors in each quadrant, and it said, "Which color are you?" Well, I was like all over the place, and I made the comment to my friend that I felt like a rainbow brain because I looked at every quadrant and I could see myself in every quadrant. AJ said, "He's my star." Yes, you are, dear. You're my shining star. But being all over the place, I've struggled with that, and I've prayed about it continuously. Now, when my pastor asked me to do the sermon for this evening service, I thought to myself, oh my goodness, what am I getting myself into? I am so busy right now with school and everything. I don't have time for this, but I never tell him no because he's a wise man, and no pun intended there. And he seems to know what I need to do. And so when I was working on the sermon and I read the scripture lesson of the story of the three wise men and went and dug a little deeper and learned more about it, it was actually eye-opening for me. I joked at church tonight, and nobody seemed to get it, that it was an epiphany. No pun intended there. Tomorrow is Epiphany Sunday. But when I thought about it, I realized I pray a lot, but I'm really lazy about seeking God's guidance through scripture. And that's what the wise men did. They read scripture, and that's how they knew they were to go in search of the star. So my message for you tonight is, if you're kind of all over the place like I am, seek the star by reading the scriptures and let that help you guide you and help you find the way. And AJ's writing king cake. Yeah, in New Orleans, king cake is usually something that we think of around Epiphany, but lately it's been all year long, all the time. But the wise men had a journey of faith, and faith is great, but you have to have a little guidance to go with it. So when you have that faith, count on God to provide the guidance that you need through scripture, and always go back to that. I love you guys. I'll talk to you tomorrow.